going on, everyone? It's JTLive and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings. The series, of course, we go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United. We have a little talk about it, and today is a day with some fresh stories, and I really feel like could be a pinch of optimism coming for all of us with just 10 days remaining in the transfer market. It is imperative Leeds start to make some moves quickly, and it looks like Leeds are starting to wise up to that. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the meat of the action. And of course, as always, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments section down below. For now, guys, though, let's get straight into the first story. And we're starting off not in the most positive of lights, and it is around Rowe. Of course, Jonathan Rowe, Leeds United have been linked with like a bad flu this entire summer. His name has been trailing us around, and Leeds United are reportedly still in talks for Jonathan Rowe. Leeds United are still in the race to sign in-demand Norwich City attacker Jonathan Rowe, and it is basically increasingly likely that he is going to be going by the end of the week. So this means within the next 4 or 5 days, we are going to find out for sure, no Adam, whether he is going to be a Leeds United player, a Marseille player, and most likely not a Norwich City player. However, this is not necessarily the most positive news for Leeds United, because as it is stated here, Marseille are very keen to get him wrapped up and get him in the matchday squad for this weekend in time to play for their match on Sunday. And you know, Jonathan Rowe has basically made his intentions very clear that he does want to go to Marseille, and that is not surprising to me. It's probably not surprising to you. It's not really surprising to anyone, given the state Leeds United are in, given the football we're playing, and given the fact that Marseille are interested in him. Unfortunately, we just cannot compete with that. Personal terms have not been agreed between him and Marseille, but I don't think it will be too long before that move starts to come to fruition, and we can at least stop hoping that we might get our hands on him. But it looks like Leeds are looking elsewhere, and this time it is from another championship club that Leeds United are looking to sign a player from, and that is Burnley this time, and it is Manuel Benson. We spoke a lot last season about Leeds signing Manuel Benson when Burnley were in the Premier League, and because of the fact that he wasn't about to get a lot of first team football. Now, a lot of people suspected when Burnley got relegated down into the Championship again, that Manuel Benson would be a prized asset for them, and he would be someone that would be given a lot of game time and used to really kick on. Now, he hasn't been used in their opening 2 games, and it doesn't seem like he is in favour at all to be getting any game time at Turf Moor, so they are looking to offload him, with Scott Parker basically deciding that he is surplus to requirements. Now, it has been reported by Sasha Tavioleri, the man who was all over the gaff last year, talking about Benson potentially coming over to Leeds, stating that he is very close to leaving Turf Moor, with Leeds being probably the most interested club in signing Manuel Benson. He would make a perfect Somerville replacement, able to play. He can play on either flank, but most notoriously would be playing on that right-hand side for Leeds United, which would be a brilliant high acquisition, with Nonto most likely being favoured over the left. But as we've seen with Leeds, we've actually done a lot of interchanging of the wings, which could suit Manuel Benson very well. Now, the reason that I'm not 100% sold on this move right now, and I do want to get your guys' take on it, is because of the fact that we should be competing with a side like Burnley. Correct? They are high-flying right now. They're currently top of the Championship. Leeds should be in that spot. Leeds should be the one smacking teams 5-0. We shouldn't be the ones that are sat there, you know, picking up scraps from other teams. Now, maybe it's just that he doesn't fit the system. Maybe he's had a falling out with the manager. Could be a plethora of reasons. But if he's deemed to be surplus for requirements, there might be something that we don't know about as Leeds fans. Maybe the club doesn't know. Maybe, just maybe, he wouldn't be the right man for Leeds. That's the only fear I have. If Burnley want to get rid of him, should we be picking up the scraps of our competitors, really? But then you could also look at the fact that we don't really have much of a choice right now, do we? You know, we got to take anything that we can get our hands on. And it does look like this has a lot of legs to it because Sasha Tagliafieri is very, very in the know when it comes to Belgians and Belgian transfers. It is also coming out that Daniel Farke is a big fan of Benson's creativity. This is coming from our kid Ben Jacobs, who is of course very reliable when it comes to Leeds United transfer news. Manuel Benson is still there as well, the Burnley winger on Leeds' radar too, and Daniel Farke would like a little bit more creativity and someone that can provide regular goal contributions. So Benson is another possibility, and if they want them, they might find themselves up against Norwich as well, who of course will most likely be losing Jonathan Rowe by the end of the week. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about that one down in the comment section down below. You happy with Benson? Do you think this is the right time for Leeds to get him, or do you think the boat has potentially passed on that one with us not picking him up last season? Now, speaking of Burnley are set to wrap up Leeds United. Well, a player Leeds United showed a relative amount of interest in, which was, of course, Bashir Humphreys, Chelsea centre-half. And this is not a good signs again for Leeds United. The fact that they're potentially offloading a player that they don't want at the club and then taking targets away from Leeds, it doesn't make positive viewing right now. And if you're a Leeds fan, this is a very, very tough time for us to be involved in. Again, just something to potentially think about and ponder if you are thinking about Burnley and this whole Manuel Benson move. But in slightly more positive news, Leeds could be looking around the Premier League and sniffing around players that are surplus to requirements from higher level opposition. This time being Aston Villa, with a quoted assist machine potentially being available for loan before August 30th, and Leeds United should be very interested in making a move. Stuart Dallas was of course on Sky Sports the other day and basically predicting that the reason that Leeds aren't making any moves is because we're waiting for top flight clubs to make decisions on players. Of course, Stuart Dallas has been in and around the club. He knows what the 49ers are like. He knows what they're potentially thinking. Could be an interesting food for thought. And one man that hasn't been getting a lot of game time at Aston Villa and might not even make their preliminary 25-man squad is Aston Villa youngster Samuel Ealing Jr., who came over when they did obviously get rid of Douglas Luiz to Juventus, and he was part of that switch and hasn't been given a lot of game time at all, and is looking like he is in seek of regular game time to get himself back up to that Premier League level, and it would most likely be a loan deal. Could be a good move for Leeds United as he can play on either flank. He can also play at left back, so he could be a potential backup for Firpo, or if we did want to play three at the back, he could be a great wing back option as well. And although I do love Firpo, we do know that he is probably a few games away from a suspension around the corner at any time with the amount of yellow cards that he picks up. So this could be a very good deal for Leeds United, and one that we will have to wait and see how things break down on. Now, there is another target that Leeds United are waiting for, and it is Sunderland and Leeds United transfer target Daniel Jebbison, who is, of course, over at the Cherries, only joining this summer after his deal at Sheffield United expired, and it was thought that he would go out on loan immediately. He hasn't quite gone out on loan yet, but there are a couple of updates. Bournemouth have 2 games scheduled before the transfer deadline, which is on August 30th. The first of those is when they host Newcastle United, before they make a trip to West Ham 3 days later in the League Cup. Even with Evanilson signed, the Brazilian may take time to get up to speed, so there's a chance that Jebbison can feature in those 2 games before he is allowed to depart. Once he is available for loan, there could be a scramble for his signature, as it has been claimed previously that a whole host of clubs in the Championship wants to sign them, with Sunderland, Leeds, West Brom, Hull, Portsmouth, Derby, Norwich and Stoke all said to make approaches to land the player. Does seem a little bit scattergun for me. Does seem a little bit desperate that we will be clinging around in the last second for that, and I think we should hope to get our deals done before then. But depending on how we are come the end of the transfer window, it might be a move that Leeds are forced to push our hand with. Now, one last story that we were, of course, talking about yesterday was Dejan Lujibic, who mysteriously was not in the their matchday squad, FC Cologne's matchday squad on the weekend, despite training on Friday. And there wasn't a lot of news about it, but he is said to be definitely keen on moving to Leeds United. This is being reported today by Build, and he is definitely very keen to perhaps move forward with the Leeds United transfer. Agreeing personal terms should not be an issue with him. It's just a matter of the club making the deal happen now and potentially putting up that €4 million valuation that they do want for him. But those are the stories of this afternoon. Please let me know what you guys think about them all down in the comment section down below. This should be going out as soon as it is recorded within the next half an hour to 45 minutes, so we shouldn't have situations like yesterday where we had a little bit of a change in potential quoted fees from 18 to 25 million and stories changing. But for right now, these are the scoops, and hopefully I'm keeping you in the loop. Please let me know what you guys think, of course, down in the comment section down below. For now, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.